everyone, welcome back. So, the Audacity is not an easy show to like, and that's exactly the point. From the very first episode, this gritty Silicon Valley drama throws you into a world filled with deeply flawed, often insufferable characters, people who have everything yet somehow remain completely miserable. It's uncomfortable, chaotic, and at times overwhelming, but if you stick with it, there's something surprisingly compelling underneath all that mess. At the center of it all is Duncan Park, played by Billy, and honestly, he's the main reason this show's work. Duncan is a tech billionaire running a company built on selling people's personal data, and he's basically a walking disaster. He's impulsive, arrogant, and constantly sabotaging himself, like when he leaks a potential $1 billion deal before it's finalized, causing everything to fall apart. From there, the show follows his frenetic attempt to fix what he broke, dragging everyone around him into the chaos. And that's really what the Audacity is about. Not just wealth or power, but what happens when people have too much of both and no idea how to handle it. Duncan's anchor in all this is his therapist, Joanne Feldler, played by Sarah Goldberg. She's sharp, confident, very good at her job, but she also crosses the line she probably shouldn't. The more she learns about her powerful clients, the more she gets pulled into their world, blurring the boundaries between observer and participant. Together, Duncan and Joanne form the emotional and narrative core of the series, with everything else spiraling outward to from them. And there's a lot of spiraling. The show introduces a huge ensemble of characters, family members, business rival, partners, outsiders, all tangled in this web of ego and ambition. At first, it feels like too much. The series throws so many storylines at you so quickly that it's hard to connect with anyone. But as things slow down, the writing starts to dig deeper, revealing layers that weren't obvious at the start. Some of the most interesting moments actually come from the younger characters. Orson and Tess, two teenagers dealing with their own personal struggles, bringing a rare sense of vulnerability and honesty to the show. Their storyline feels more grounded, offering a contrast to the exaggerated ego of the adults around them. Then there are characters like Carl, played by Zach Galifianakis, a violent billionaire with serious anger issues, and Tom Ruffage, a more relatable outsider trying to navigate this absurd world. Tom, in particular, acts as a kind of audience surrogate, the normal guy surrounded by people who have completely lost touch with reality. But even with all of this moving part, the show isn't perfect. In fact, it's one of the biggest problems is how crowded it feels. There are so many characters competing for attention that some of them never fully develop. Certain relationships feel rushed and few storylines don't get the depth they deserve. Visually, the show is also pretty muted, lots of grey offices, sterile environment that don't exactly stand out. And yet it still works because at its core, the Audacity understands its character even when they are at their worst. It doesn't ask you to like them. It asks you to watch them, to understand them, maybe even to see a little bit of truth in their flaws. And that brings us back to Duncan. Billy delivers what might be the best performance of his career here. He makes Duncan frustrating, ridiculous, and somehow fascinating all at once. You don't root for him, but you can't look away either. He's the kind of character who keeps pushing forward no matter how many times he fails. And in a world full of people who are comfortable staying on top, that persistent actually makes him stand out. By the end of it, the Audacity feels like a show that grows on you. It may not hit the heights of dramas like Succession, but it's clearly aiming for that same space where character, power, and personal collapse collide. It's messy, it's imperfect, but if you give it time, it might just pull you in. Thank you for watching. Bye.